them, to be honest. Not that good into either comp, Rogue, Shadow Priest. So I think Cloud9 need to play something different here. What is it going to be? Do they have a Windwalker? Oh, they're going back to their roots. They're going back to Mage Lock. Everybody's playing mains today. It's just main queues.
Yeah, I like it. Feels like we're in a past expansion, Pavan.
All right, well, let's see. Let's see if this one plays out. Now, here's the thing, okay? Cloud9 did not lock this in against Method NA yesterday, so they obviously are not super confident in the matchup, but it could be one of those things, just like we saw from Method NA, where it's like, you know what? None of the matchups feel that great. Let's just try to outplay. And I think that's what it comes down to. Just play what you're best at. Play what you have the most practice with. Try to make something happen in kind of the face of adversity, and we'll see if they can do it. Wealthy Man now locking the Frost Mage, the first Frost Mage of the finals, and honestly, the first Frost Mage we've seen in quite some time. So, if there's any Frost Mage fans out there, and we see Wealthy Man play, likely going to be a long game. I mean, it typically is. The Frost Mage Destruction Warlock focuses on little chip damage and crowd control, so it's all about the crowd control, kind of extending the game, getting into dampening, and that's where you just prevent your opponents from attacking. And even though your damage isn't super high, you're getting off effective damage, and that's when the composition kind of accelerates.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Chan on that Destruction Warlock here, going for a few Chaos Bolts. Don't really see Warlocks, period, but a Destruction Warlock as well. It's definitely something that we don't see too often, but Cloud9, of course, absolute menace when it comes to playing this composition. Full kidney shot secured here on to Chanimal. He's going to trade out the Dark Pack, and now they're actually going to swap their pressure onto Wealthy Man. A lot of damage actually coming out, but he's just going to press the Triune Ward, and he should be completely fine. Both these Clothies have these big shields at their disposal, but Wealthy Man's still taking a lot of damage. Cubsy in that fear, but now Wealthy Man finally linking back here, and he's going to catch a couple of heals here potentially from Cubsy. Cubsy actually re-stealthing here as well, just anticipating maybe some opener from Peekaboo. Okay. It was just going to run back to the pillar, and both teams are just kind of happy to reset a little bit.
So Chanimal isn't using Dark Soul to win the game. He's using Dark Soul because he knows Golden Guardians will run away if he presses it, and that lets Cubsy drink to full mana. And I think that's a smart move, as this game is going to go into dampening, and it's going to get purged anyways, or at least most likely it's going to get purged. So using Dark Soul to set up drinks to get into deep dampening, I think is the play here for Cloud9. But once you're in deep dampening, are you really favored? I mean, right now the pressure is sticking and there's zero dampening. They already got a block out of the way. They try and blast Absterge, and they've been looking at him every once in a while, but unless Absterge throws and runs into the middle of the map, I really don't think he's going to be a great target. Pressure is still quite high onto Wealthy Man and Chanimal. Cubsy's trying to play efficiently to heal both of them. Absterge interrupted. Bonza fell down on Peekaboo. He just shadow steps out of it. He does not care, but he catches a Chaos Bolt to the face as well. Cyclone on Peekaboo. He's going to get Mass Dispelled. Whiskey's getting aggressive. Whiskey's moving in. Where's Whiskey going? He's trying to stop Cubsy from drinking in the back line. Absterge just posted up aggressively here, trying to stand on top of Cubsy, but he might get bashed. Oh, that Ursul's Vortex looks like it missed Absterge. If he got pulled out in the middle of the map and bashed, that could have been a great position for Cloud9, and that seems to be their strategy. They're trying to get Absterge in the middle of the map and then blast him, and it's going to be up to the Golden Guardians to see that coming and try and protect Absterge.
Yeah, and let's see if they can do it. Wealthy Man playing actually a build, just playing all conduits, all talents, everything to just empower Blizzard and Frozen Orb. So if we see Peekaboo, Absterge, and WizK at the pillar like this is when they're going to be eating all that Blizzard and Frozen Orb damage. And as the game goes on, I mean, most Cloud9 games with this composition end up going into dampening. It's really, really difficult for them to kind of push through. Chanimal in the midfield right now, going to be using that Dark Pack. Peekaboo kind of bouncing around, hitting multiple targets, and I kind of like this as Necrolord, especially as Necrolord Shadow Priest. You have a lot of rot, so going after multiple pressure is really going to keep Cubsy, keep his mana taxed. Bit of a swap here on a Peekaboo. He hits one Chaos Bolt, but he is able to feint it off. Gets Mortal Coil though in the middle of the map. One Shackles lands, immediate vanish by Peekaboo. He's not going to be messing around. Chanimal's trying to cross the map right now, and it's a bit of a game of cat and mouse. Cloud9 just wants to bring the game to dampening. They want to run away. They want to try to hide as much as they can. And Golden Guardians is trying to push the pace. They want to keep them on the back foot. They don't want to let Cubsy drink, and if they can do that, that's how they're going to win.
Oh, but Cubsy is threatening to drink right now. He's going to re-stealth. He's going to gate. He's going to go for the stun onto Peekaboo from stealth. They're going actually for Absturge here. Cubsy now going to build up the combo points here. He has enough for a maim here, but decides to hold it for later. Smoke bomb now onto Wealthyman. He is going to trinket and blink out of that one. Wealthyman should be completely fine in that situation now. And that most danger is gone. But Cubsy's still in the silence. Shackle's still coming out. Wealthyman actually forced into the second ice block here. Cubsy going to trade out the nature swiftness here as well, just to make sure that he gets stopped and he can kind of stop the chase here from the Golden Guardians. Now Cubsy looking for the drink. They know about it. Whiskey's running towards him. Cubsy's going to stealth, exit his stealth with that competing roar and give Wealthyman a new set of hots and try to keep him alive and then go for that same drink again. Cubsy really needs this drink, and the Golden Guardians, they got the Vendetta rolling. They just need to push the face onto Wealthyman here, but he's got Ice Form up right now, making him impossible to stun, but now finally faded. They could kidney shot him, and there is a setup happening here onto Peekaboo as well. Full fear onto Absturge, and it does fade, and Peekaboo does take a Chaos Bolt to the face, but it looks like Wealthyman is going to be completely fine with that extra bit of pressure.
So Peekaboo pre-evasioned the bash when his whole team was crowd controlled. It was a nice play, and it allowed him to easily sit through that setup, and Cubsy's mana is just devastated. They've stopped his drink. He's trying to move in and stealth, but Peekaboo pre-flesh crafts. They managed to interrupt it and then stun him. Good coordination by the team of Cloud9. That could have totally shut down that situation, but now instead Peekaboo has to trinket and Cloak of Shadows. Peekaboo is monitoring Cubsy like a hawk, making sure that he's aware of his positioning to try and preempt these incoming stuns time and time again, but looks like Chanimal and Wealthyman could back him up with an interrupt this time around. Cubsy's in the silence. They're going after Chanimal. He ports back behind the pillar. Cubsy repositions far away from Chanimal. He doesn't want Peekaboo stacking on top of him. He's constantly rebuffing Mark of the Wild to try and protect from some of the nature damage and some purge protection, but Wealthyman is just getting overwhelmed by the Golden Guardians. They are dominating Cloud9 right now. A huge mana advantage, a huge cooldown advantage, and momentum is in their favor. They can just ride this all the way to victory, I think. Cloud9 need to set up a miracle drink. They're trying to go for the kill. Absturge trinkets into a fear. Can they kill Peekaboo during this moment? He gets behind the pillar right before that Chaos Bolt Bonds of Fel can connect, but now they're swapping to Absturge. Cubsy's drinking. This is exactly what Cloud9 needed. They were in shambles. Things are falling apart at the seams, but because Cubsy is getting mana here, they still have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, Wealthyman, he's got an ice block, but they can't throw. He is going to manage to get away with his trinket, but might have to trade. Don't trade too late. Whiskey has massive.
That insta-lock.
That was the fastest interrupt ever from Chanimal. I can't believe it. And Wealthyman might be okay. Gets topped off. Cubsy crossing the map, but he's full mana now. He's got 100% mana. And Cubsy with mana normally means someone's not going down unless there's a crazy amount of damage. With Nature Swiftness, I feel like Cloud9, they're going to be able to hang in there. And this is the point of the game. I mean, not yet. 17% damage is still light. You know, you can still see the surface of the sun.
Yeah.
You can still see the light piercing through the ocean. We got to get a little deeper, a little damper. 30, 40, 50% is when we're going to see Cloud9 really start accelerating.
The Cloud9 on their way right now to the bottom of the depths of the ocean here. Let's see if they can drag it out a little bit longer. Peekaboo making his assault here. He's got his Cloak of Shadows. They got cooldowns to work with. Honestly, I think they can push it. They can push somebody down here. They got the Vendetta as well. If they can get like the Iron Bar committed to Chan and then go for Wealthyman, or they can just push Wealthyman down through that Iron Bar with the Vendetta, that could be how they win the game. Look at Whiskey here. He's just chasing Cubsy, but Cubsy is just, he is so fast on that Druid. And they are going to stun up Whiskey. Whiskey's going to trinket here. Psychic Horror. Cubsy, he's looking for the fear. Can he get there in time? It doesn't look like it. But they have the smoke bomb. They get the silence. Is it going to be enough? They got the Vendetta rolling, but it's on Chanimal. Chanimal has all his cooldowns. He just trades them out. Wealthyman had nothing. I would have loved to see that onto Wealthyman. He had no trinket as well for that smoke bomb. So definitely a bit of an offensive misplay here, I think, coming out from the Golden Guardians. And now Whiskey finds himself in the center field, shackled and stuck in the Bonds of Hell. Shackle number 2 coming through here for Wealthyman. And it looks like Whiskey is just going to be able to walk that one up. He doesn't have Dispersion. Absturge, though, still has plenty of answers. And Deeper in Dampening, the Warlock is a better target than the Mage. So the fact that they got all the Warlock cooldowns, necessarily not a bad thing. It just means that they need to commit now to Chanimal. Even though Wealthyman has no more defensives to work with. So they wanted to play to kind of end the game there, it would have been better to do it on the mage, but now they have positioned themselves in a way where they at least can run Chanimal down the next time they have that Vendetta.
Double Mortal Coil. They're trying to peel. They're trying to stall. Get their little chip damage out with the Frost Mage. Free casting in midfield, but Cubsy's almost burned all the mana that he just drank back. And Peekaboo's Shadow stepping in for the kill. Vendetta available in 1 more second. They got through Dark Pact for free. Cubsy's Trinket for free. Vendetta is available here. Chanimal on the run, trying to escape. Peekaboo snared in midfield, trying to get back to his target, but Chanimal has a loaded gun. He's going to pop Infernal, double Shadow Fury. He's got Dark Soul. He's going for the Dark Soul. Is he going to get a Chaos Bolt with this, or is he just trying to scare them away? He gets purged on his Dark Soul. Now Chanimal is a sitting duck. Peekaboo chasing him down, gets Frost Nova again. Abstract moves in on the right side. Wealthy Man is getting owned by WizK. This is going to be such a struggle for Cloud9 and Cubsy to recover a full fear onto Cubsy. Chanimal could easily go down. Vendetta is ticking away. Massive damage. Chanimal tries to abandon the mission with Soul Shape. He ports back behind the pillar. Cubsy reconvenes. He gets a big heal here onto Chanimal. That was insane positioning by Chanimal to survive throughout that threat, but now they're swapping a Wealthy Man. Big heal has to come through from Cubsy. He's trying to heal 2 targets with like 20% mana, 35% dampening. This is going to be the biggest struggle for Cloud9 in this series.
Cloud9 just has no damage. That's the biggest problem in this match. They just can't kill anything. I mean, Chanimal is doing an unreal job with his positioning and his kiting, with his portals, his gateways, with everything in order to survive, but they just don't have any damage out whatsoever. And Chanimal's just dying once again. He's behind the pillar. He's rotting down. He's got the Dark Pact. Cubsy gets crowd control. This could be it. Game 1, potentially for Golden Guardians. Chanimal holds on. Unending Resolve overlap with Ironbark. The silence is still there.
That grip.
Shot.
The
And
grip.
he's going to die through all his cooldowns. 39% dampening. I'm going to say it. Magelock Druid is not the answer. I don't want to see Cloud9 play this again.
They need a monk. They need Snuts Monk. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's time to bring
Could
out the
be good.
Snuts Monk.
Man, if you would ask me a year, like in BFA, if we'd ever see this situation happening, Cloud9 losing to Golden Guardians playing MLD, I would say no shot. But here we are, Golden Guardians taking that victory. But yeah, I'm curious of your guys' thoughts on what Cloud9 does next.
No
Snuts
Frost
Monk.
Mage.
Yeah, no, get rid of the dude. Frost Mage is not. No Frost Mage. Nope. Never again, please.
Nope. Oh man, rough. That's rough. Okay, well, let's break down that game number 1 at least first. I mean, is that really just how we can just Frost Mage went down? We're going through the slow-mo. This isn't bugged.
Okay, look at the master spell from
WizK gets
WizK.
interrupted instantly.
Look at this. Look at this Chanimal here.
Look at
WizK,
WizK.
as you guys can see,
Slow
Cubsy is
motion.
in a full fear here, right? I was in a full fear. If they get his MD, it's over.
What?
Chanimal land that dude.
Okay.
I swear.
So there's 2 things that happen. Sometimes you have to. So I don't know. Where's Chanimal right now in the
He's in
Midfield.
the middle of the map.
You
no,
play
not
with
in the middle of the map.
Destro.
I mean, in the world, what's his latency?
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
no, dude.
He's in
I swear.
France, right?
I swear there
He's
was
in
one
Europe.
game I played against Chanimal in WoD in a tournament, and I was playing a Warlock. I know that sounds weird. It was the worst game I ever played in my life against him and Rosita Jones. They landed every single counterspell instantly. It was impossible to fake them. I swear, Chanimal is the number 1 player you never want to see when you have to face his interrupt. Like,
So I think what he does, I think one thing Chanimal does is he has to pre-interrupt because his latency is so high. So
Yeah.
if somebody is moving and they stop moving, that's a cue that they're going to start casting. So if you look at someone's actual character frame, you see them moving and then they stop moving. That is a great sign that they're going to start lining up a spell, especially a spell you have to aim like Master Spell. So as soon as you see them move, they stop moving, you can interrupt. And I think that's probably what happened there with Chanimal. But yeah, that was quite, you didn't even see the cast. It was so fast. So it had to be kind of a pre-lock there from Chanimal. But they managed to get it done. And at this point, I mean, just looking at this replay, from about this point forward, Chanimal was doing insane things. Like his kiting, his positioning was fantastic, but there's 0 damage. Like that's the fact of the matter. Is WizK and Peekaboo, they can go after Chanimal, they can go after Wealthy Man, and Wealthy Man and Chanimal can't get any counter pressure whatsoever. And I think that's going to be the theme of the game.
Look at his grip as well by WizK. Like, look at WizK here. He's
Yoink.
gonna def
Watch
first
Peekaboo. Look where Peekaboo
first,
is.
First he fades the poly, then he defs this poly right here. Look at WizK. He defs it right there.
He's like,
Then,
Peekaboo,
actually,
get over
he,
here.
He got the spell. And then he waits for the root, and then he's like, wank, and then, and then you know? And then he's dead.
I like Peekaboo's transmog too. Just wanted to call that out.
Oh,
Looks cool.
No, does look real nice. Yeah, I made this this metaphor with Chan once, and I'm gonna make it again. It's kind of like resistance training almost. Like you train harder than the actual competition would be. Like where sometimes like
High
swimmers
gravity.
Yeah, high gravity training.
Yeah, something like that. Whereas like he obviously has like higher ping than most of the players, except for I think maybe Aiden. But yeah, it's definitely an adaptation he's had to make, and you can really see it come out in his gameplay. So I wonder what it feels like, as Chan to like when he finally goes to LAN and he doesn't have that ping anymore. He probably feels like a god. But either way, Golden Guardians 1-0. Let's see how Cloud9 reacts for game number 2. Any guesses here, Zika, moving forward?
I feel like Shadow Priest Mage would not be the move here.
Snuts Monk.
I like.
I mean, how practiced is the Snuts Monk? That is the question. Because I feel like they would have brought it out into Method and A. Or was it Method and A?
Turbo time.
Turbo time.
Turbo time. Yeah, that works. But this is what Golden Guardians beat though with their Shadow Priest Hunter. So.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, winning game number 1 could be rough. And let's not forget, I think Cloud9 was actually forced off this composition yesterday when Method and A beat them. So it's not a free win by any stretch of the imagination. Cloud9's going to have to play it well. Golden Guardians, I'm sure they watched the games yesterday, and Method and A was actually able to easily dispatch of this composition. So still a good shot. Golden Guardians, they have a lot of damage with that Shadow Priest Rogue Shaman, lots of crowd control. Cloud9's likely going to be going after Peekaboo. Maybe they go after WizK, but traditionally they like to go after the Rogue. So we'll have to see the kind of cooldowns. Basically, with the Golden Guardians, I have full faith in Absurge and WizK and their ability to stay alive together. Like the way they rotate is fantastic. But Absurge and Peekaboo, do they have that same kind of synergy? I want to say yes, but I don't think it's as dialed in as WizK and Absurge. So pressuring Peekaboo could be the move and maybe find an opening, but we'll have to see how the Golden Guardians deal with that kind of pressure.
Yeah, so I'm reading chat right now, and people are saying, just because I wanted to see if people had an answer to where Chan is. Apparently, he is back in Australia, so I'm going to assume that's even worse ping than it would have been.
He has about 300
back when
ping.
He was in Europe. Yeah, that's good God, that's crazy.
To me, 200 ping is unplayable, and he's playing in the finals with 300. So
right, that's absolutely
200
wild.
is unplayable. It's like 100 is unplayable.
Yeah, well, it depends who you ask. Like some people will say, if you're used to 5 ping, 100 feels unplayable. If you're used to 100, you can kind of make 200 work. But if you're Chanimal, you're the only one that can make 300 work somehow. So instantly interrupt one.
I would love to hear
MDs.
what his number is for unplayable, if that's like his like base 300, like where it just is out of hand.
I don't think it gets much worse. Like I think it's pretty much as bad as it can be.
You have to be in like, I don't know, Antarctica or something for even worse. But anyways, we are going to get into game number 2. It is hook point Golden Guardians. We're going to see if they can keep it up and get to match point. But Cloud9 looking to tie it up in game 2.
All right, let's see what they can get
let's
done.
See if they can do it.
I thought we were going to say the same thing. That was so close. That was so close.
Yeah, that was actually, we almost, but not close enough.
They're starting it off with crowd control and Cubsy. Sap, Wealthy Man, the main target. He's on the run behind the pillar. Cubsy trinkets blind. Snuts is going into battle stance, trying to get aggressive, but Psyfiend is out. WizK's tearing in with power infusion. Wealthy Man's boldly marching towards WizK. Golden Guardians, man, are on a tear right now. This looks terrorizing for Cloud9. Are they going to be able to make it through this situation? Pre-healing Tide Totem comes down. Wealthy Man has not been above 50% health for basically the whole game. They drop the smoke bomb. Wealthy Man trinkets to get out of the smoke bomb. He just wants to connect onto the Shadow Priest, start doing some damage. He's fishing for a Hex. Gets a full Hex onto Absturge. And this needs to be their moment to strike back, to swap to Peekaboo. Immediate evasion, but they stun him on evasion. Now he has to trinket. He's so low. Great swing back by Cloud9, though. Getting the trinket evasion from Peekaboo is going to give them an option for victory here.
Ooh, kidney shot on Wealthy Man right now. Still decent damage for both teams. WizK definitely has to be careful, though. He can get taken down really, really quick. If Snuts gets a big crit, Wealthy Man uses the Chain Harvest. It could just be the end of the game really fast. So Cloud9 definitely still in it, even though it seems like most of the pressure's on Wealthy Man right now. Silence on Cubsy. Peekaboo all over his target. Earthenwall Totem's going to be dropping down by Absurge, bolstering the defense of his team. Wealthy Man does not have that same kind of defense. A nice fear. Divine Shield, kidney shot, blessing of protection. Everything gets forced out here by the side of Cloud9, and Golden Guardians is on an absolute tear so far.
Yeah, Golden Guardians looking good right now, and if Cloud9 loses this one, well, it's going to be a tough comeback for them in the series right now. Golden Guardian on fire, but it is going to be Whiskey in trouble. Wealthy Man, though, gets kidney shot here. Whiskey looking for the Void Eruption, not able to find it. The Siphon gets immediately deleted by Snuts. Snuts now going for the Stormbolt here onto Peekaboo, looking to get some damage going. Sharpen Blade is active as well, but it looks like actually it's going to be Wealthy Man still taking the brunt of this exchange. Now it's getting disarmed. Whiskey's in a fear. Peekaboo is kiting here into the full kidney shot. The Ascendance of Wealthy Man. And none of them Abster just trinket at least, but I feel like they wanted to get a little bit more there, maybe at least a Spirit Link to go with that, but Abster's still going to have that in his back pocket now. And Wealthy Man, he has to make a difficult choice here. Do I overextend, or do I go back here and lose my pressure? He chooses to go back to Cubsy. Cubsy getting full feared here. No tremor available. Kidney shot comes out. There's the blessing of protection. Siphon, nobody kills it off. Beautiful hex snuck in by Abster. Cubsy trinkets it. Snuts now finally killing off the Siphon here in the background. No, it's still going. And that's going to be the Necrolord banner. That Siphon got 100% uptime. Full mind control back into the waters here. And Wealthy Man is dropping dangerously low in this mind control. Wealthy Man, big heal on himself. Peekaboo has a blind ready with no way out. Cubsy, no blessing of protection, no trinket, no nothing. He just needs to pull the trigger. And there's the preemptive sack there on the blind attempted by Cubsy, but not successful. And now he gets kicked potentially into the blind, and that could surely be the game here.
Good game.
Full blind. There's no way Wealthy Man can survive this one. Can they
He's got
connect
Chain
the
Harvest.
sap? That is the question. There's the Chain Harvest. Can they get the sap? It doesn't look like they can find it. There's the silence. Is it going to be enough? Wealthy Man with one heal. Then it will be enough. Beautiful feels there from Snuts as well with the disarm. And Wealthy Man will live to fight another kidney shot. Vendetta is ready. Let's go, Super Keys.
Wealthy Man trinket tremors the fear on Cubsy. Triple fear by Snuts. Snuts has been doing a lot of work in this game, but Peekaboo Fleshcrafts, they pummel it, but did he immune the stun? No, Stormbolt still in the back pocket. He pre-feints the Stormbolt. Healing Tide Totem behind the pillar here. Wealthy Man gets mind controlled on his burst damage. He can't connect any of it, and Snuts is disarmed. Man, this is the Golden Guardians playing at their peak. Perfect crowd control on all the goes, setting up for the full hex onto Cubsy. Lava bursts are coming in. Rallying Cry is not going to be enough. Golden Guardians unlocking their potential here at the last possible second in the tournament, facing elimination at the start of the day, but now on match point, potentially 3-0ing Cloud9.
Golden Guardians definitely heating up in this one, and I mean, this was Cloud9's answer. This is what they've used in the past against the Shadow Priest Rogue Shaman. It didn't work against Method NA, and it's not working against the Golden Guardians because they had no pressure in that game whatsoever. Cloud9, what are you going to do? Golden Guardians on an absolute tear so far. They won their first series of the day against UNITAS. It's looking like they could 3-0 Cloud9. I mean, if that happens, what are they going to be able to get done against Method NA? We'll have to wait and see, but we can take a look at the replay.
Absolute madness coming out from the Golden Guardians here. And here, this is so close. I don't know what actually holds Cubsy in combat. I think it's the Chain Harvest or something. I'm not actually sure how the Chain... I actually don't know what kept Cubsy in combat there. But Cubsy, he doesn't get sapped. You can thank his lucky star for that one. And then they get the setup here. Wealthy immediately trinkets out. But look at the pressure coming out from the Golden Guardians with that Vendetta. Snuts breaks it up here. They get the Hex onto Absturge, but it breaks. They get the kick here onto the Fleshcraft.
Mind control.
Peekaboo pre-frames the Stormbolt, and then Whiskey with the second beautiful mind control. And look at Absturge here. What got Cubsy's trinket earlier? Hex. And what's going to get them to kill here? Look at his Hex. Absturge lining it up here, getting in position, casting some Lava Burst, standing so that if Cubsy goes behind there to line, he can't. And if he goes forward, he can't. And on the other side, if he goes around, well, look who's there. That's Whiskey right there. That's Whiskey territory. So he's just cornered like one of those plays from Mercy's playbook. And he just can't do anything about it. They land the Hex, they land the damage, they land the Shackle, and they take game number 2.
My goodness. I mean, this is what I'm saying about this team, about Golden Guardians. It's like they show up to some of these tournaments and they're like, yeah, we're going to win today. And they just pull off these impossible feats. I mean, they could, somebody already said it. They could really go here for this next game and 3-0 Cloud9.
They're making it to the finals, but that's about as far as my leash for it is going to go. Mostly because Drake Windwalker, man. Like... That's basically it. If Drake wasn't a Windwalker, I think Golden Guardians could ride this all the way, but Drake Windwalker is just sitting there, the gatekeeper of the AWC, like, Golden Guardians, you're not getting in. Like, no Shadow Priests in this club. You can't come in. I'm sorry, WizK.
You just put a giant ring of peace down in front of anybody that tries to go further.
Monks are literally the bouncer.
Oh man. All right, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We got to get through this series first. Cloud9, they're still in it. They certainly still have a chance to reverse sweep it. We've already seen one reverse sweep today. We may see another one here. You know that Cloud9 has a plan here. It's not often that we see these guys really struggle and don't have at least some sort of answer. So personally, I would be pretty shocked if we didn't see these guys at least get another win here, or at least get one win off here in this series against Golden Guardians. But Golden Guardians really, really strong in this series so far, and they're only one game away from 3-0ing Cloud9, which would be a tremendous victory for those guys. We are going to be heading to ASHAMANE'S fall. Now Cloud9 is going to be locking in their composition, Ben.
It seems... Okay.
I don't think it's going to work, but I think that's what they're doing.
I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, they could. I want to see Warrior Mage.
Yeah, I was going to say Warrior Mage too.
Didn't we just watch
much rather see that.
Yeah, but it was close, wasn't it? I think so. I don't know. They could win. What about Warrior Mage Druid? Could that work?
Maybe.
Is there any world where Warrior Mage Druid could work? I'm not. Okay. So
damn right. I got NA on lock. I know I'm in their heads. I know what's happening.
Well, I mean, it makes a little sense because Cloud9, the only time they won against Method NA was with this comp, but I don't want to say it was a fluke win, but it was kind of a fluke win. Like, they won the first game and kind of a surprise kill on the Shadow Priest, and then they lost the two following games. So, I don't know. Cloud9, they're kind of going to go back. I don't want to say this is their main composition, but something they played quite a bit. Snuts on the Shadow Priest, Wealthy Man on the Fire Mage, and Cubsy on the Restoration Druid. ASHAMANE'S fall, a nice big map. So if there's any time this comp could work, it's going to be here and now. But I still think Golden Guardians has the edge in this one.
Yeah, it's certainly seeming that way. These guys are really showed up today. I'm curious as to how their preparation has been, because it seems like these guys, I mean, obviously they did well enough to get here into the top 4 to make it into the North American finals, but it seems like this is almost a different team than we did see last time we saw Golden Guardians play in the circuit, Zico. They've really put in the work, it seems.
I just think that they've finally done what we always complain about. We always talk about, oh, they need to bring in Jelly more. They need to utilize him more. And I think that's what actually got them their success, that even got them to qualify, because it was a really tight race in the circuit in NA. It was, you had so many good teams not making it, OTK. There were so many big names that didn't qualify. And a big reason for that was because they just tagged in Jelly Beans. They started playing BM Hunter Rogue, and they found good success with that. And also they started bringing in a little bit more alt comps. They started bringing in WizK on Mage and things like that, and just diversified a little bit. And that's what we always said that we wanted to see from these guys. Play the RPS when you can, but try to be more diverse. And for them, it got them their ticket here. And it looks like they've been putting in the time here to practice for these matchups, because their Shadow Priest Hunter looked phenomenal, and their RPS, it hasn't skipped a beat.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And, these guys have been a roster for so long, too, on the side of Golden Guardians. They've been playing together for ages, and many expansions. They've had so much tournament time together. So it's interesting that it's kind of just now that we're really starting to see them sort of find their stride in adapting, like you're saying, Zico. I mean, they kind of have stuck together as a roster for so long with sort of their bread and butter compositions. And it's just interesting that it's now that they're starting to make that change, and we're really seeing those results play out today right in front of us. So let's see if they get a 3-0 here, or is Cloud9 going to catch up? Game number 3, potentially the last time that we see Cloud9 in the season.
I mean, yeah, if you're a Cloud9 fan, they're going to need your energy right now. Cubsy, Snuts, and Wealthy Man coming in with that Shadow Priest, Mage, Resto Druid facing the Golden Guardians, which they are playing on point offensively. Like, some of these setups are absolutely insane. And so far, they're leading the charge in game number 3. Wealthy Man tries to swing the tide with a combustion early popped here, but he's not finding any damage just yet onto WizK. WizK's loading up a Void Eruption, trying to maximize his damage. Blind on Cubsy. Cubsy trinkets blind, trying to get control of the fight here, but Vendetta is still waiting in the wings. Snuts pops out a Siphene. They're going to kill that. Now into a kidney shot. Peekaboo is going for it. Already Dispersion out of the way. Shackles onto the Dispersion, trying to prevent its recovery. Cubsy dispels those. Snuts is on the run. WizK is chasing him down. Snuts versus WizK on the Shadow Priest. A battle for control. Who's going to take it? WizK grips Peekaboo right back to Snuts and just says... It's like a shake and bake strategy between WizK and Peekaboo, just launching him back into first place to get him onto Snuts. Can Peekaboo close it out here? They're so close. He interrupts Cubsy with a kick. Snuts down at 30% into a Psychic Horror, but not enough damage to finish him. Polymorph onto Peekaboo by Wealthy Man slows the pressure. Gets dispelled. Snuts still the target. Peekaboo rolls over for a Garrote on a Cubsy. Pre-Iron Barks it. Is Iron Bark going to be enough? This damage is so substantial from the Golden Guardians.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the pressure has been immense so far in the game. We're only just a minute and a half in. Dragon's Breath on Absters, though. A nice setup here. Silence on WizK. He's got no Dispersion and no Trinket. Once he can fade, I think he's going to be okay. Looks like he will. Siphene still doing work here on the Snuts, but really not accomplishing too much. WizK now at safety. Should be fine, but that was the first nice setup we've seen from Cloud9 in this game number 3. And they do manage to get the fade out of the way. WizK with no cooldowns left, still a vulnerable target, but Golden Guardians throwing caution to the wind. They want the pressure right now. Full fear on Cubsy. Snuts could get dropped very easily. Nice Mass Dispel there by Snuts, freeing Cubsy from crowd control. A bit of a risky play, but he pulls it off, and Snuts stays alive as a result. And now he actually has a Dispersion, which is likely going to be traded. Don't want to greet it. He's got the Dispersion. Cubsy really doesn't have that much throughput, but a big heal tops him off. And even though he doesn't have the defensive cooldowns, they managed to stabilize. And now it's WizK on the back foot. 1 second on Dispersion. This is Wealthy Man's Combustion. Don't greet it. WizK trades, and man, these teams are really on fire.
Definitely a nice play there from WizK, from Wealthy Man, securing the triple cross CC, turning the situation around. And WizK is still very, very low from that CC chain, but finally Absters now sneaking in the Hex onto Wealthy Man to get this spell. They could send the Shackle here onto Snuts. Looks like Snuts is going to be completely fine here, though. Walking it off. Good CC here on Peekaboo. He's getting rooted. He's getting polymorphed up. And now he's getting dotted. Void Eruption coming out here from Snuts. Looking for the damage. Gets kidney shot. It looked like it was DR, though. And WizK still ducking behind that corner. Just basically 2v1ing Wealthy Man there with Absters. They connect with the Hex as well. But I do believe it breaks the damage there. And just looks like they're happy to play it like this. Cubs is sitting up for a drink. Peekaboo should have the Distract ready. He should have seen where he is, and he's going to go for the Distract right there into the kidney shot, building up a lot of pressure. But Wealthy Man in the back line, Prox is cauterized here. Cubs going for the drink here, and his team gets absolutely punished for it. Plus, he didn't get any mana. Wealthy Man still dangerously low, but links to safety. Cubs now trying to recover both of his teammates here with some healing over time effects. Drops the preemptive Iron Bark there in that exchange as well, and now tries to recover some of that mana potentially as well, but needs to assist here with the setup. It looks like he's going to go for a stun onto WizK, Sheep onto Absterge, and Absterge will respect it, trade out the Trinket Spirit Link. Both teams showing a lot of pressure, but playing very aggressively.
Clean calls by the Golden Guardians this time around. They want it. Wealthy Man's cauterized, cut through at this point. No Nature Swiftness for 13 seconds. They're gunning for the kill on Wealthy Man. He's got Ice Block to his name. He's trying to Soul Shape away from the engagement, and Ice Block is forced. Instant Mass Dispel onto Wealthy Man. It's match point for Cloud9. Everything on the line. A full silence for follow-up. Vendetta is rolling, and Wealthy Man barely stays alive. He activates the Blazing Barrier, soaks up a massive hit, but they've cut through the barriers. They're going for the kill despite everything Wealthy Man does. He Desperation Dragon's Breath Peekaboo. Frost Nova's Cubsy manages to recover. Now WizK on the back foot pre-fades the shackles here, but Cubsy chases him down and stuns him for a shackle of his own. And WizK is going to disperse that immediately, but now there's no dispersion for the combustion. If Wealthy Man can stay alive, Peekaboo is soloing Wealthy Man at the moment, chasing him down. Blazing Barrier once again, soaking the hits. Polymorph's coming out. Cubsy's mana is not looking good. Their cooldowns aren't in a great position for Cubsy to safely drink. If they get on top of Wealthy Man, Cubsy's trying to go for it. He needs to get mana, but it could cost Wealthy Man's life for Cubsy to get mana. WizK is rolling up. Absterge is rolling up. Whiskey only has Trinket. He drops the Siphon. He stuns Cubsy. They're pushing for the win. They purge on the Temporal. They're going for it. Is Iron Bark going to be enough to keep Cloud9 in the tournament right now? Looks like it will be as Waltyman bounces back and needs to net a kill with this dispersion. No Trinket on Peekaboo. No Cloak on Peekaboo. I'd love to see a swap over to Peekaboo right now with this next Combust.
Yeah, I would too. Let's see if they can do it. Peekaboo really no cooldowns whatsoever, and I think he realizes how much trouble he's in. He's going to retreat behind the pillar, and I think it's an intelligent thing to do. Cubsy's going to be sitting down for a drink, recovering some mana, but it's still Wealthy Man in the most trouble. This kid, he's a full blind. He blinds the Trinket, and that should be the game. They do manage to take him down. The Golden Guardians do it. 2 series in a row, 3-0 Cloud9. They're going to the finals.
This team,
unbelievable right now. Super Cheese vibe a month ago. It just doesn't lie. The Golden Guardians, not only do they advance to the finals, but they 3-0 Cloud9 here. They make them look hopeless. They just came in, they showed them what's up, brought in the Rogue Shadow Priest, and it just looks phenomenal. Cloud9, they tried pretty much everything with their Mage Lock, the RPS, they tried the Turbo, and they could not defeat the Golden Guardians. The Golden Guardians have come to play, and this could be the